Hey everybody, Finch here, and it is my first round back after lockdown. I've got my full new set of clubs on the go. Never played with them all in one bag before. So I'm very excited. Down here at Hesketh Golf Club, going to be playing off the back tees. It is windy, not swung a club in 9 weeks. Carly's on the camera. Going to be talking you through this bag. And by the way, new bag, sun mounted. I'm excited if you can't tell. What we're also going to be using today is this Arccos caddy system. So I've fitted all my clubs with the Arccos little sensors, and this will give us an idea of how I'm actually playing on this first round back. First hole, 383 yards. It's got a big stick. Got to start with the big stick. Big confident. It went up in the air.
It looks beautiful.
Nice success. It's a par. So I'll just take a quick screenshot of this, but show you as well about like the Arccos system, what it's showing. So it's saying all the distances as far as kind of front, back, middle, all the rest of it, but it's also showing the wind gusts up to 27 miles an hour. So if there is a bit of wind noise, I apologise. 158 to the middle, 6 iron, back into it. Go. Go. Just got hammered by the wind. Oh, the actual hell. Oh, it's come all the way back down the hill. That was up on the green almost by the time we left the tee. First 3 holes, hit a couple of drivers, and my pre-round suspicions about this club have turned out to be accurate. So I know that this club is very, very long. It doesn't spin much. It's an absolute beast. Early in the morning with no warm-up, it is demanding, to say the least. And I think this is only going to start to come into its own probably after the 6th when I'm fully warmed up. So I might have to keep that in the bag for a few holes. So these first few holes have definitely cemented something in my mind. You can do all the technical work that you want, but as soon as you are exposed to the elements, especially on the putting greens, it all can just go completely out of the window. My stroke at home has felt good, it's technically great. When you start sticking in different distances and different undulations, it's just a completely different game. So I need to remember that the carpet at home is going to be a different pace to what is happening out in the real world.
It's touching your head.
Three over so far. Short game is rusty in the extreme. Long game is okay in this window. This is tough. This is a tough welcome back. No, obstacles need to be overcome, not avoided. Knowledge of the day. Bag needs to be overcome as well. So bad.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, front 9 is done, and I think that was 6 over par. Thank you. Thank you very much. Literally feel absolutely all over the place, but I'm just happy to be out. Weather's nice. Some of the positives though, it's some really good shots with the driving iron. That bag, that sun mounted bag, feels very, very comfortable as well. I'm actually really liking the Arccos system as well. Not so much the automatic shot detection, because I don't know how that's working yet, but the GPS on there, yeah, it's good, really good. Probably the most disappointing thing today is my irons. Not because I made the wrong choice in getting them, but just simply because I've struck very few of them out of the centre of the club. I am now 6 over. that right? 7? I don't know. I want to break.
It could be a few more.
It could be a few more. I want to try and break 80. I'll count them up at the end. A moment that will last long in the memory if this goes in. Just the distance you've been practicing at home for 8 weeks. We're on to the 14th hole. I'm like 7 or 8 over. I need a decent finish to try and break 80. And these holes in and around the clubhouse here at Hesketh, they are just a beautiful, beautiful collection of links golf. So I'm excited. So we've got 157 yards to the centre of the green, and it's playing 178 yards with the wind, so the Arccos system actually factors in the wind for you. I don't know if there's a competition version of this. I'm sure there is, that you can turn that off because that will be illegal in competition. So it's going to be playing more like 180, which would be a 6 iron, so go 6. So these 2 holes are actually some of my favourites on this bit of linked land. So we've got Hesketh, got Southport and Ainsdale, Hillside and Birkdale, all pretty much next to each other. And these 2 holes where you tee off, you've got the church in the background. It's a tiny little dog leg from left to right. And then the next hole is like this really tricky par 3 that normally plays back into wind. And it's just such a nice little few holes. I don't know why I love it so much. I have won a junior open here before, which helps if you go back to a golf course that you got happy memories of. Slowly coming together, so that's birdie par par. Feels good to say that. The hope of breaking 80 has been rekindled.
Has it?
These types of shot that are going to be the struggle, certainly for the first few weeks. Little cuppy lie, no real idea how it's going to come out, lack of feel around the greens just because I've not played for 8 weeks. It's the back of the foot, lob wedge, little stabber. On to the 17th, that was a bit soul destroying, but this new hole here is like a dog leg to the right hand side. New dunes have been put in, winds off to left, it favours a draw. It's a tricky one to my eye, this. It is a tricky one to my eye. So when in doubt, you just got to do one thing. Got to get the driver, got to give it a whack. So 190 to the pin, which is that way, is like literally over the top of the middle of those trees, and it's slightly downwind. It's going to hammer a 7er. You can't see Carly's face, but let me tell you, he's probably mirroring the look of disgust that you may have. You got to let me off,
It's
right?
not disgust.
What was it? Confusion?
Pity.
So 18th, another par 5. I don't actually know where I'm at. I've kind of lost count. But I think if I get a birdie, I might actually break 80. And there's a chance. It's only 480 yards. It's a little bit back into wind. And the entrance to the green is just super, super narrow. But it's a beautifully framed hole. Almost worth the wait. From where I hit it, it looked like it went in, but it's probably about 12 foot short for an eagle. Just finishing with an eagle. What a beautiful return to golf that would be. How pleasant and harmonious would that moment appear after 8 weeks of being stuck inside. Hold it. Oh. Damn. Oh well. Finishing with a birdie, that's not too bad. So it's time to get home, have a look at some of the stats in the Arccos, explain about some of the stuff that maybe happened today, but I'm just so happy to be out on the course again and just out in nature. I mean, it's a beautiful morning, nice temperature, obviously with Carly as well. Stop that. We've got to go before I get emotional. And we are back home. That was quite the eventful round. So I did manage to break 80 in the end, but let's be honest, I wasn't expecting to shoot an amazing score, and there were some real positives to take from the day. I'd actually say there's probably more positives than negatives. One thing which I was a little bit annoyed about, and in retrospect was a bit stupid, like one of my favourite clubs during the testing period, the Build My Bag series, has been that Ping G410 3-wood, and I didn't use it once. Should have used that so much more off the tee rather than the driver to begin with. And like I said, that sim is a beast, but I do need to make sure that I warm up sufficiently before I actually play. The analogy that I'll use with that sim is like a Formula One racing car. So it needs a certain amount of speed for the downforce to actually work, push it into the ground. With that sim driver, you need the speed to get the most out of it. It's just going to flop out of the air and it's not going to carry very far at all. The wedges were really good. Love the driving iron. Irons, I started to strike a little bit better near the end, but let's face it, first round back. The Sun Mountain bag I absolutely loved actually. It was really light and comfortable. Made out of recycled materials as well, so that's kind of good. The Arccos system, as far as the course is concerned, that was working quite well. I downloaded the course the previous night, so I don't think connectivity via Wi-Fi or 4G was any kind of issue, or 5G. Scary. But to use the Arccos system initially, you got to keep your phone in your front pocket, and I took it out of my front pocket about halfway round, and then started to shoot video on it and stuff. So that kind of messed a few things around. So I had to go back into the app and add shots afterwards, which wasn't too much of an issue. But rather annoyingly, you got to play 2 rounds before it unlocks the iWatch feature. I don't know why I need to earn the right to use my iWatch. Hopefully you are staying safe. Hopefully you can get out on the golf course if you haven't already. Make sure that you follow all the guidelines necessary to keep safe, but also to keep the golf courses open. The provisions put in place by Hesketh yesterday were really, really good. And I felt safe. And that's key, because I was a bit nervous about going back. It's been 8 weeks of social distancing and seeing really nobody. And then all of a sudden you're thrust into an environment with people around and it's feel like, oh. Also want to say a massive thank you to Hesketh for having me down. The course was in really, really good condition as well. And obviously for you guys for watching. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Loads of videos coming up within the next few weeks. Testing clubs, getting out on the course. Very excited to be back. Get down into those comments. Let me know the first course that you're playing after lockdown or the course that you've been playing currently. And we will see you down here